Hi guys, today I'm going to bring you all of my books that I own about Druidry. So this is just one of the tarot cards from the Animal Druids, or the Druid Animal Oracle. So to start was the first book I read about Druidry, and that is the Droid Handbook by John Michael Greer. So I started with this one instead of, I think the other one is The Path of Druidry. Because at first I was going to join the Ancient Order of Druids in America. And I was going to join that one instead of OBOD because of the Order of Bards, Obates, and Druids. Because OBOD, the classes for that were super expensive. So I joined AODA first. But then going through it, I liked that in their coursework they wanted you to study books on the ecology of your area, but I had a hard time picking out books that actually got approved. So I just said, heck with it, we're going to join OBOD instead. And I'll still read some ecology books. They'll just be the books that I choose that don't have to be approved by somebody else. So that's what we did. So that was that one. And it is a really good read, though. I'm glad that this was the first book I read instead of something else. Second book I read is the book of Hedge Druidry. So this one, I didn't particularly like it, simply because I'm not into the magical part of it. This is more, if you're coming from like a witchcraft or Wicca standpoint, and you plan on being a solitary practitioner. That's what this one's mostly about. And because I didn't like it, I think I'm going to actually add this to one of my giveaways for the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway that I do. So yeah, you can look for that if you want to read it. And then the third one that I've read so far is The Path of Druidry, Walking the Ancient Green Way by Penny Billington. And this is the one that specifically goes into the order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids order. So yeah, and this one, it was pretty good. There's a lot more lore in this one than there is in the Druidry Handbook. And you can tell, like, it's about the same size thick-wise, but it's bigger size, so there's more information in there. And now we're going to move on to the ones that I have not read. And I will do the partial. I've partially gotten through the Druid Animal Oracle. So this one, there is a full book in there, as well as the little tarot cards as well. And the only thing I don't like about the tarot cards is how big they are. And I've seen some people have actually trimmed them down, so I'm thinking that might be an option that I lean toward. And then we've partially gotten, and then we have a whole stack that we have not gotten through yet. So the first is Green Wizardry, Conservation, Solar Power, Organic Gardening, and other hands-on skills from the Appropriate Tech Toolkit. And this is just, it's by John Michael Greer, the same one as the first book, the Druidry Handbook. And then we have the Bardic Book of Becoming, An Introduction to Modern Druidry by Ivan Macbeth. I'm not sure if this is for a specific order or not. I don't believe it is. But I know the foreword is by Philip Cargom, and he's specifically OBOD, so there's one I'm really excited to read that one. And then we have the Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs by Scott Cunningham. So this has all the herbs and everything. And I don't know if it's location specific or not, but there's the folk names, gender, planet, element, deities, powers, and magical uses for a lot of plants. So that'll be an interesting one to read too. But this is another one that was not approved for the AODA course load. Okay, another one we have is Welsh Witchcraft, a guide to spirits, lore, and magic of Wales. So there's the 3 lores for Druidry that I was looking up. There's the Welsh, the Scottish, and the Irish. And they're all under the Celtic name, but I did a family history tree a while back, and I have more Welsh in me than anything else. So I tended to lean toward the Welsh side of the lore. And in that regard, I'm also studying Welsh on Duolingo, so I can start to speak some of it. And I just think it's such a beautiful language. It reminds me of Elvish, so it's fantastic. The next one we have is the Book of Druidry by Ross Nichols, History, Sites, and Wisdom. And this one also has a foreword by Philip Cargon as well. And I don't remember if I heard much about this one. I have no idea why I bought it, but I did, and now I need to just read it. Okay, another one we have, big honking thing, is the Encyclopedia of Celtic Wisdom by Caitlin and John Matthews. So this has a lot of, there's like poetry and just a lot of the lore from the Celtic area. And then we have Bonewit's Essential Guide to Druidism. Oh my gosh, why are we having such an issue with words today? By Isaac Bonewits. And this one I picked up after a video by Danny something. I'll put a link across of the video where she was talking about her Druidry books and the books that she recommends. And this was on the list, so this is one of them that I picked up. Then we have another one on Celtic mythology, Uncovering Celtic Mythology, a beginner's guide into the world of Celtic myth, fairy tales, folklore, warriors, Celtic gods, and creatures. And this one, I just happened to see it while I was looking through Books A Million, and it was one of those that was on sale, I believe. And so, yeah, we picked that one up. And I think this one should be a shorter read because it's a lot smaller than some of the other books that we have. Speaking of smaller reads, we have this tiny itty bitty book on Druidry by Emma Rustall-Orr. And this thing is tiny. Like, it's small width size, and it's just like you can see my hand. And it's so tiny. It's like a little baby book on Druidry. But this one has a lot of pictures in it as well. If we can open it up here. Okay. Now there's some pictures, yeah. But yeah. It was just a little thing. And I think this just popped up in my Amazon searches while I was looking for some of the other books. So that's the itty bitty book. Then we got 2 more left. We have Celtic Tree Magic for Ogham Lore and Druid Mysteries by Danu Forest. And this I got because I ordered some of the Ogham sticks from a lady over in England, I believe. And each stick is tree specific. So each stick is made up of the tree that it's supposed to be that has the Ogham on it. So that'll be pretty cool. I'm excited to get working in that aspect. And then the last one that I have here is Magical Britain. So I've always wanted to go to Britain. And I was listening to one of the podcasts from I forget what it's called. But anyway, it's the Obod's podcast, Druid Way or Druid Path or something like that. And they had the author of this book on there. And I guess he specifically went to each site that is in this book and he took all the pictures for all the sites in this book. And it's just, one, the pictures are gorgeous in case I ever don't get to England or Britain. Sorry, Britain. And two, there's some really interesting sites that you would never find anywhere else, like just a tourist going to Britain. So I'm excited to read through this and pick out the sites that I find most interesting and make a list so that I know if I ever do get over there where exactly to go. And I do think I have, so that's all the books I have right now on Druidry, but I'm pretty sure I have a couple more coming. I know there's one, I think it's by Philip Cargon, that hasn't released yet, or if it has released, it's only released in Britain and it's being shipped. So yes, that's all the books. Can you tell I like books? There's a lot of them. Alright guys, with that, thank you for watching, and thank you for joining me on my Druidry path. I really appreciate it. We're still in the Bard aspect. We just got our second pack of the, crackers, the blue books. I forget what they're called. My brain's just leaving me. But yeah. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Bye!